Let's jump back into the furniture topic, because I'm betting people deal with this a lot. Like I, for example, like my mother, could have one chair in one corner and live there for
Forever.
30 years.
Yeah.
You, however, do like to move furniture. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy the furniture moving stuff because it's variety and it gets cleaned under the chairs.
It's for cleaning, yes, but I like to see the world from different perspectives. And so when I move.
Welcome to She Said podcast. I am Pam Pryor, CFO, author. In short, I balance the books.
And I'm Deb Reinhard. I am a Chopra certified meditation teacher, Ayurveda teacher, master life coach, and I balance Pam sometimes.
And every week we're going to dive into it. Business, home, life, the beautiful chaos of all of it.
And you might catch a few lighthearted arguments.
Yeah, why don't we see what can stir the pot today? We've had a pretty fresh start this morning.
Oh boy, we have indeed.
With pot stirring.
Yes, we have. Miss, I lose everything.
I want to argue with you so much right now.
You cannot argue with me. Let's. Where do we want to start? Do you want to do it? You want to start?
Very simply, I need to know. If you know, drop it in the comments. Does an iPad Pro pencil work with the 11-inch fourth generation iPad? Because I came down here all set to go with my iPad to do this, and now I can't write. So I'm totally thrown off my game.
This is not the problem. Let's be very clear. This is not the problem. The problem.
Are you going to call this a symptom?
There are so many problems with what you just said right now. So the box for the pencil is sitting right down there. So had she actually looked at the instructions, she would be able to find out whether or not the pencil is compatible with the iPad. No, stop. And then let's even talk about why we have a problem with the pencil now anyway. Because how many pencils have we bought, Pam, in the life of this particular iPad?
3. Because we like to have them like pacifiers.
Because we lose them.
Well, there's that. And
what other things? What other things, Pam? Because the pencils are just one symptom.
It's Apple's fault.
Think about it.
Because the other thing is the iBuds.
AirPods.
This is all
AirPods.
Stephen Jobs.
How many AirPods have we bought in the life of AirPods?
4.
I've had one, Pam. I had one of the original, and then when the Max came out, you're like, would you like a Max? And that's an upgrade. I'm like, okay, I'll take one of those. And I still have my original one of those.
I probably have all of them somewhere. This is the thing. They're not really lost.
And then let's talk about the phones.
We're still talking.
Let's talk about the phones. Situation? Where do we go with the phones?
Scalable.
Where do we go with the phones?
Oh, yeah, it did kind of happen.
Thank you, Francis. Scalable last year.
Okay, that was the thing.
What happens? England.
I forgot about that.
England.
Oh, when?
Driving through England. I can't even tell you how many cabs she left her purse and her phone in. But not only that, we were at Scalable last year. It was great. Fabulous event. Highly recommend that you go, especially if you want to scale your business. Pam can't find her phone at the end of the day.
No, it wasn't the end of the day. It was right after we got out of the car.
Oh, and all of a sudden, it was panic. Where's the phone?
No.
Can we use the Find My to find the phone? Well, we see the phone on Find My,
and we made it beep.
We couldn't find the phone anywhere. So what do we have to do?
Wait, we found it. It was in his car. It beeped. She changes the story.
That's for the cab. I'm talking about Scalable. We never found that one.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
No, we didn't. And what do we have to do?
This story's gone on way too long.
We had to go and drive to the Verizon store to buy a new phone.
They have all checked out.
And that is probably the second time. That's the second time because of a lost phone. What was the first lost phone?
You need to be more concise with your words on a podcast.
What is the first last phone, Pam? What's the first one? What was the first phone?
I don't remember.
Plane?
I did flush it down the toilet.
Okay.
That was pretty funny.
All right. I just want to say,
that was a funny story.
She cannot be trusted.
You're going to have to cut a lot of this, Francis, because boy, does she ramble on when she's on a tear.
Yeah.
I was going to co-host a little better this time.
All right, go ahead.
But apparently when I'm quiet, it's the Deb Reinhard show.
Speak.
So
tell me if there's, did I say anything wrong?
A few things.
Oh, come, please.
You told the story from your filter. The actual truth is, I've lost a few things. Sure, who doesn't? But I find them, and eventually then I have a multiple set of them. And then we don't have to ever buy anything again because it's like the pacifiers. When you have a baby, you buy like 100 pacifiers and you put 15 in every room in the house. You put some in each car.
Like that,
because you
the
never
readers.
want to be without
like the cheaters.
Like cheater glasses.
Yeah.
When you're young having kids, it's pacifiers. When you're 60, 50, I'm 60, but it started at 50. It's readers. In fact, we need to buy another 30 or 40 pair at the new I rate. Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, so it's like that. I don't need 60 of these. I just need 2 or 3 so that when one falls off, which these are made to fall off. Apple's not stupid. They're made for people like me who lose them.
You can just
and
pay
I
attention.
keep Apple in business, which is nice. But anyway, the only question I actually had this morning before this tirade was, does my iPad 11 work with the Pencil Pro or whatever this is?
So inside that box is a piece of paper that lists all the things that it's compatible with.
How many of you actually pull the piece of paper out? Do you not answer your questions on the internet?
Pause.
This is an Apple Pencil.
Most people
all you have to do with it is stick it to the side.
On the internet first to say, oh, let me make sure this is compatible with my device before I buy it.
But I bought it on the road. I didn't have time.
Hello.
I'd lost it local.
Good
so I didn't
night.
have time.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, yeah, I do lose some stuff sometimes. Now, to be fair, I believe we could make an argument that this is all gaslighting because here's what happens in this house. All of a sudden, I will innocently put my notebook here. Right there. I'm working here. My notebook's there. I'll get up and go to the bathroom. I'll come back. It'll be gone. And I'll have to say, Deb, where's my notebook? I put it away. Well, where is away? Because that changes every day because in this house, no piece of furniture that stores anything, no piece of furniture, period, stays in one place for longer than, how long? How long?
Maybe 6 months.
Maybe 6 months. That is the biggest exaggeration ever.
No. I'm slowing down. As I get older, I'm slowing down.
So every weekend or so at some point, Deb gets a look on her face and just stands in the middle of the kitchen and looks around. And I know what's coming.
So true.
I know that all of those things that I've been accused of losing are now going to end up in another spot because the furniture is going to move.
Yeah.
And it is true that you have done that while I've been away.
Mm-hmm. And
I've come back and not noticed for days,
weeks
and
on end.
then I'll come downstairs and actually walk into a piece of furniture and go,
how long has that been there?
Where did that go? So that is a true story.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun because you never know. People come visit, they never know what house they're going to see, which is nice. It made for this beautiful set that Deb and Francis and Wen lined out.
Yeah.
So that, truthfully, is the thing. That's where all of my eye pencils are, hiding away with the second sock from the dryer in some put away cabinet somewhere.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that I don't touch your electronics anymore. I used to, and that it's true. I tidy things. But I tidy things.
That's what we should call this episode. I tidy things.
But I tidy things in spaces where things are not supposed to be. Like,
we got this. You're done. You can't tell another story.
Okay,
we got the wrapping. You don't get another chance.
We'll save it for another day.
I love it. Great. Let's jump back into the furniture topic because I'm betting people deal with this a lot. Like I, for example, like my mother, could have one chair in one corner and live there for
forever.
30 years.
Yeah.
You, however, do like to move furniture. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy the furniture moving stuff because it's variety and it gets clean under the chairs.
It's for cleaning, yes, but I like to see the world from different perspectives. And so when I move furniture, it allows me to like imagine the spaces differently and see different things.
So it helps your creativity?
Absolutely helps my creativity. Keeps me happy. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When did you notice that you first started?
Like, I have moved furniture
forever since I've known you.
Furniture my entire life. I used to
like when you were a kid?
I used to move furniture when I was a kid. Yeah.
Like in your bedroom?
Yeah, absolutely. We used to move my bedroom a lot, all the time.
And just to get the different perspective.
Just to get different things, see different things, move different things in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often does the urge hit you?
It's
honestly, like,
okay.
How long could you go without, like, if there were a challenge?
Yeah.
If we said, oh, here's a challenge, a not moving furniture challenge, which would be a stupid challenge to have. But if we were, like, how long until you, like, got
I could go 6 months. I could go half a year now. It wasn't that way always. Like when I was,
Okay.
you know, when I was like able to move things around, like
before you brought,
and
before
like,
you tried to move the bed all the way down the front stairs,
oh, that
and
was
it came
bad.
tumbling down behind you,
Oh,
and you
that
came
was
tumbling
so
down in front of
bad.
it, and it hit the front
And
door.
it hit and dented the metal front door.
Missed you
I'll remember that.
probably by.
I jumped. I literally leapt.
That
over
truly
the,
could have been the death of you.
I could have died. I could have died.
And then another one down here in the basement when a bed fell on your head.
Yeah, and then I was in the hospital for a few days.
In the hospital. And that concussion, you said you had ramifications from that, like
for a long time.
Like you every now and then will still say, "My words aren't coming."
Yeah, yeah.
And I always will wonder.
At least a month where I could not find words all the time. I knew exactly what I wanted to say, but I couldn't find the words.
Couldn't get the words out. Now that happens to me a lot now. I think it's age.
Yeah, no. It's very different. Like you'd hold that thing up and you're like, and I'd be like, I know it's a box, but I couldn't find the word box. That's the kind of
what I do now, which is hysterical because you know exactly what I'm saying, and all of our friends and coworkers will just look at me with their head cocked. If I can't come up with a word, instead of pausing, what I'll do now is just go white box with curly ribbons, hold hand, thing up.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, the Apple Pen.
Yeah.
I just like start throwing words that describe whatever it is at the table. I have no idea why, but it just like starts happening.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I'm going to get this out no matter what.
I know.
But you can figure it out.
I can.
Most don't.
All the time. 33 years, baby. I got you figured out.
That is true. That is true.
I got you figured out.
But you just pause when you can't find the word.
I do. More and more. I used to try and talk through it, but now I just stop.
Sometimes I can nail it. But the furniture thing is interesting because
go ahead.
I guess we never really moved furniture. I'm thinking about my houses as kids. And I'd occasionally move my desk in my office or something. But on the whole, our furniture, once it went into a house, it stayed there. Now, we were only in houses for a year and a half, 2 years. I guess the longest was 4. But once it got there, it stayed.
Mm-hmm.
It never occurred to me I could move furniture until I had my own apartment. My first apartment, my coffee table was actually Hall of Records boxes from DuPont.
Yeah.
And they were
with nothing in them.
With nothing in them. Very
boxes.
sturdy. Very sturdy boxes.
To be clear, she was not taking all
and
of Records
I paid
boxes.
for them. I didn't steal them. I paid for them. And there were just 8 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8. And that I put a thing over it. And it stayed there the whole time I was in the apartment. But then it occurred to me when I moved in with my friends for the first time, I can move furniture. We can move it whenever we want to. And that's the first time it occurred to me. But I still I must wake up in a stupor because there are days I'll come back, like I said, from a trip, come downstairs and literally walk straight into a table in the middle of the room.
Not unusual.
Not unusual at all. So it is kind of a hazard, and we might need those safety cones.
We need something.
As I get older and older.
We need something. I'm slowing down in terms of how often I move things.
That is true.
But
and
what
quite
I will
how
say,
bizarre the changes will be.
I just want to share this because I'm really, really proud of this.
Oh boy.
My daughter likes to move furniture.
She does. She's as addicted as you.
When you remember she would live here. She doesn't live in here anymore.
Y'all would do it together.
We used to move furniture all the time.
And she does it in her own house now.
She doesn't move her furniture all this.
I have a feeling that if she
had more room
or
she would,
time,
if she had more room and time,
I can picture her with that same look on your face in the middle of the house, going, something's got to change.
When that hits,
you know what? It's a harmless addiction. For me, it's day trading or learning about DeFi.
Oh Jesus!
Yours is a much healthier one because it's you have to be fit to do it.
It allows you to clean.
Yep.
Keep everything neat and orderly. It's good.
All of those things stack up. Boy, they matter.
They do matter.
I do. Absolutely.
I know that you appreciate.
I so appreciate it. That is absolutely true. I definitely appreciate it.
So you don't have to pick on me about my furniture moving.
Speaking of which, the topic we ought to wrap up with today is what we were talking about this week about this actual recording stuff actually kind of enriching the relationship in a weird way.
Yeah.
So
I think what it does. Okay, so please don't take this the wrong way. So I just have
whenever they lead
I
with
have
that.
to preface my
time
comment.
out. When your partner leads with "Don't take this the wrong way," isn't that sort of
It's so
respectfully?
No,
with all due respect.
It's no
offense, but
I want you to take this with all of the love that's intended. These are some of the longest conversations we have.
That is true.
Because you are working all the time.
That's very true. And I don't like have long conversations. Like, unless I've totally detached and like sit down like this, or when we're on vacation, or when we're at a friend's house at a party or something, I'm not a talker.
No.
Which is weird because I talk a lot.
You can.
Like, remember we were doing, while you were getting your health coaching thing, I was like a dummy, not dummy,
you were like a fly on the wall.
A practice student.
Oh, my practice client. Oh my goodness.
And you looked at the statistics on the thing, and like I talked 80% of the time.
And you know, you're supposed to talk 80% of the time. And that's not an issue. No, the challenge, the issue is that you talk consistently for 9 straight minutes. Not a wedge of word could I get in. So, because you have an amazing ability to just like go off and riff and just keep going, and your brain
doesn't stop.
It's a part of the magic of you. Your brain just keeps putting things together. So the reason I love this, I love how present it allows us to be, which is really wonderful.
I will say something that's different. Most of the time, and the reason I think I hate talking is because my brain does things in like images and like patterns, and like it makes these massive connections, and like I see what it is that I'm needing to get out, and I'm like, I can't do that with words. So I'm just like, I won't even bother.
Yeah.
And because I've got to get on to the next thing. Whereas with something like this, we're sitting down, the purpose is to chat. So what does this tell you, couples?
Yeah.
Take time, which we do not do. So like I'm lecturing us all on something we don't do. Date night, really important. We did one just last week.
Yeah, that was a great dinner.
And it forces you to sit down and talk. And there's so much you love about this person that you never get to spend time appreciating because you're carrying on with life.
And the other thing I love, honestly, is just it allows you to remember, like as we sit here and have conversations, you just remember things. You just get to be like, that was really funny that you did that, or that there's just something that just kind of reinforces that connection.
We laugh all the time, all day, but you don't remember it. Yeah. Like we're always, something's making us laugh almost I don't know that there's a day that we're not laughing at something, but you don't remember those things. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. Lindsay used to always write down, like when people said
Tales
funny
from
shit,
America. Wasn't it like Tales from America?
Tales or something like that. But in her phone is literally quotes, and like she'll just pop that bone out now 20 years later and read one, and we're like, oh my God, I totally remember that now. But what I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Or like I have cards and letters from my Garden City friends, where I grew a really tight set of friends, as you know, for a year and a half back when I was 12, 13. Yeah. And I'll read them and go, oh yeah, that happened. Like just totally wouldn't have pulled it out of my head otherwise. Yeah. So yeah, I'm enjoying it for that reason. And just taking the time to talk. Because I mean, so literally like even getting ready for the podcast, I'm working right up until Francis goes, hello.
Yeah. It's also pretty cathartic. I will say that. It's like
but during the week we'll adjust behaviors too.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh yeah, that is kind of stupid what I do there. Not stupid, that's the wrong word, but it's a habit I've gotten into that I shouldn't be into, kind of thing.
Yeah.
One of the ones from last week, you're like, sometimes you like, I actually noticed it last week before we recorded.
Tell me.
I was asking for a cup of coffee, and I put on some stupid, pitiful voice. Like,
oh,
can I get my coffee, please? Just ridiculous. All right, it was not that bad.
Yes, it was.
This would be called, give them an inch, they take a mile.
That's exactly what it was.
While I'm serving this up for you to hit right down the middle.
That's all right.
I'm like, oh, I said it then. Then. I'm like, oh, God, that's obnoxious. Can I have a cup of coffee? And we raised it at last week's thing, but like I paid attention and not done that anymore because it pisses me off.
It was just
like if somebody did that to me, I'd be like, get your own freaking cup of coffee.
I don't mind getting you coffee. It's just
But don't sound like an idiot.
But just don't make it sound so pitiful.
Pathetic. Because you're not pathetic.
No.
It's like I said, coming into a room, I either walk in and command the shit out of it, or I trip and fall flat on my face. Nothing pathetic.
There's nothing in between.
There's no please have a cup of coffee in there.
Right.
I agree. So anyway, I'm loving doing this. How about you?
Me too. I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We got to get some more episodes on the books then.
I think
And
so.
then we're going to have some guests too.
I know.
We have been coming up with
some guest ideas, which is going to be fun too.
Now, I do want to drop one thing that we probably won't go into really deeply today, but I think it's a very serious thing for entrepreneur corporate families. Now, we've both been in corporate. We've both been entrepreneurial, me for a little longer time than you in corporate for a little longer than me. And they're very different mindsets.
Superbly different.
And so one of the things I think we're going to tap, so stay tuned for a future episode, is kind of some of the things that I do as an entrepreneur that make you go, oh my God, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of things, like I just dropped 2 examples here to tease you a little bit. But one is I spend money like there's no tomorrow on the business to invest in the future. A second, that's kind of where I have a lower risk tolerance and Deb doesn't. And
no, a higher
risk tolerance. Yeah. And the flip side of it is like your pricing for as an entrepreneur, as a new entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, oh no, you got to charge more. And Deb's like, no, I'm not used to that yet, kind of thing. So I think we got a lot to unpack there. And I think that would resonate with a lot of people. One of the things that absolutely becomes critical when you're an entrepreneur, either one or two in a family, is the transparency has to be complete.
Oh yeah.
And it's very easy to go down rabbit holes and be lonely as an entrepreneur. And what you can start doing is not sharing things with your spouse, which is just never a good idea.
Yeah.
And I haven't done it. I've made things sound rosier than they are. We've skirted it. We've had really good conversations recently about, hello, I'm here. Let's talk about whatever the things are and handle them together. And you forget you have a partner. So that I think will be a really cool thing to dive into.
It doesn't have to be lonely.
It doesn't have to be lonely. If you're lucky enough to have somebody you're living with and working with day in and day out. It can be who knows you and all the things. So anyway, we'll explore that on another episode.
Sounds like fun.
I think it sounds like a wrap for today.
It does.
I have a question. Do you guys have date night rules? Like you set the bottle on date night, no phones for Kai and I.
We're going to now.
I love that, but we've.
I think no phones is brilliant. Well, I'll carry the phone with me in case there's an emergency call, but I'll turn it off. Although one of the things we'll do is look shit up on Google.
But that's different. If you have a question, like you're in a conversation and you have a question about something, you want to look it up. That's different than
so we can have the tool,
like constantly being checking your phone.
Yeah. So we don't. When we're on date night, we don't do that. But I like the idea of no rules. The rule that I wish we had on date night is a no exceptions rule.
Yeah.
And we make exceptions. Either, sometimes I'm like, nope, I'm too busy, just can't do it. Or Deb will be like, you know what, I really just want to be home. So we don't hold the line on it. And I do think maybe we do a challenge here and say, I challenge us to stick to date night.
Stick to date night.
Unless there's traveling by one of us.
Yeah.
There's a date night every week.
Weekly. This would be a dream.
I'm laying down the gauntlet because that should be the biggest rule.
Yeah.
Other rules is just, be present. When you do it, be present. What other rules do you have?
For Kai and I, it's normally no phones, and then for us, a date night could be show and we'll go out and we'll play games.
So in is okay as a date night. Yeah. Bananagrams.
Absolutely. That could be a game.
Time for us is one of the rules.
Yeah.
Making sure that I'm not online.
I know what our movie night can be this month. You sent us a documentary one, and that can be our movie night for one night this week.
We've got a couple documentaries.
And then somebody told me about a movie with that I didn't even know about with Will Smith called Focus.
Yeah.
So that's now on my list. It's supposed to be really good.
Good to have a list.
He's a criminal, a con man thing, but it's a very cool con movie. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So it's kind of like Ocean's 112 or whatever they're up to now.
You're going to jump into...
What are we doing, Francis?
You guys both have to come up with 2 truths.
We have.
Yeah.
And we're going to spin about.
And this was hard.
This was so hard.
It's funny because Francis thought we'd whip these up, but we're like, we know everything about each other.
You have to go so far to be able to even pull
I even went to geez, what is something I tried to hide from Deb? And I know there have been things. I just don't remember. None of them are coming to mind.
Was about to come out now.
Yeah, about to go now. But actually, I couldn't come up with one that's trying to hide one, but I will pay attention to that going forward.
Okay.
So who's first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
All
You want
right.
to do all three of yours and I'll try and pick? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do all three. In high school, I
I don't know
ran
a lot about high school.
I ran track.
Okay. I can see that. You cheerleaded in high school, so a natural accompanies track. What's that? Oh, letter just don't think out loud for each one.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
The second is I, back in the day, built an electric light board in electric shop that you could plug in your music, your sound system, and based on the sounds, it would light up different colors. I was quite good in electrical shop. And then the third thing is I have raced on the Indy 500 racetrack in the pace car.
Can I ask questions for clarification?
You get 2 questions.
For each or 2 questions in total?
For each one?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to ask about the race car. I'm pretty sure that's true because your dad wrote for the paper and went to Indy every year, and I know you went with him. So you could be messing with me there, but I'm going to leave that one alone with no questions. How old were you when you did the electric board?
It was junior high school.
What was your teacher's name?
Cannot for the life of me remember his name.
Okay. And what was your first thing again?
I ran track in high school.
You ran track in high school. Okay, I'm going to say that the lie, my guess is, I'm actually going to guess you twisted the truth on the pace car. That you've been at Indy, you've been around the track in a fast car. You maybe even have driven one, I don't know. But maybe not the pace car. So I'm going to guess you're trying to trick me and it's the third one that's a lie.
Ah, so wrong. All right, so the Indy 5 racetrack is correct. Yeah, I did.
And actually in the race pace car?
In the pace car.
During the actual race?
Not during a race.
Oh, okay.
But my dad worked for a period of time worked for USAC. He wrote about Indy cars for years.
All the times. How fast did it go? He was amazing for the morning call.
For the morning call, and then
you can still look up his article.
He was a good
writer.
He's a good writer. He's a really good writer, and he loved the sport. To the point where Mario Andretti came to my dad's memorial.
Funeral. During COVID, might I add?
Yes, during COVID. That racetrack was terrifying, and I don't know that. I don't even know that we got over 200, but it was terrifying.
200.
I was in the back seat, and I had a seatbelt on. I was terrified. I did build a light board in electric shop. I really had so much fun. I love soldering. I love doing the electrical thing. It was such a blast. And that was like the groovy thing to have back in the day.
Yeah, no kidding. How did you get it to do music? Like, how did you get it to respond to notes?
So your speakers plugged into it, and then based on, I guess, your speakers, it like lit up red,
whatever
green,
the wave was.
Red, green, or blue. It was
so every note had a different color?
Everything. It just, kind of sat there and just bopped colors.
I like that.
Kind of cool.
But you made it.
I did. I tried to run track in high school. I was invited to run distance, and I went out with a really good friend of mine. She and I were valedictorian and salutatorian of our high school class. We're like right up there. And the one day that we had to go out, I had cheerleading practice. And so the only thing I had were my saddle shoes, my cheering shoes. And I ran with her for a while.
And then your feet
hurt. Then I got shin splints really bad.
From the shoes.
And I said, can't be doing this.
Plus, as our daughter would say, why would you run unless you're running away from something?
Away from a bear. It has to be a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I did
not run track in high school. Although, you know what, I will say, like a number of years back now. Like
never understood
right
track.
after Lindsay, I ran, and I got to the point where I really enjoyed it.
And then you got shin splints.
And then I got shin splints again. So,
You did enjoy it. I remember that spell. And I always wondered about it because it's weird why people run.
I hated it.
I don't understand.
I went through like this phase where I just didn't like to sweat.
I hated running in any sport I did. Like volleyball, the nice thing was we did mostly agility shit.
Yeah.
Didn't have to run, but softball, we had to run the fields.
Yeah.
I just hated running.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it.
I know. Well, that's a shame. You know what? You should try it up again with really good shoes.
I gotta try it up again 30 pounds lighter.
With really good shoes.
With really good shoes.
Because really good shoes will make the big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, all those things will make a difference.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Just never try to outrun a bear.
Well, there's one kind of bear you do run from, and one kind you freeze. Lie down.
You're supposed to play that for
Yeah.
like, most
One of them you lie down, one of them you run away from. Or no, fight. Maybe it's fight. Because they're mean-ass suckers.
You know.
It's like I've seen videos where they'll like chase people down and they can get up.
You're right.
But they
It's
can go
not
fast.
chase, it's
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
It's do what Erica did on All My Children.
Yeah.
She got up and said, "Go away!" The
I
funniest
remember
scenes
that.
ever.
Go away, bear.
You will not attack me. I am Erica Kane.
Back in the days when
I
you used
stand up to anything.
remember when you used to watch
Faithfully, All My Children. It broke
All
my
My
heart when it went
Children?
off the air. What do you
My
mean back in the
word.
day? Well, I guess it was back in the day.
Yeah, it
Now,
was
when did
back
it go
in
off
the
the
day.
air?
I don't remember. But I remember you were a serious
An addict. I
addict.
recorded them. I watched 5 every
I know.
weekend. Love that. And Erica Kane, I'm sorry.
So
She is
weird.
a
She's
she's a
class act.
testament. And she was a neighbor when I lived in Garden City. So let's be
So
fair.
yeah, you got to be nice to your neighbor.
Got to be nice to my neighbor. She was always nice to us as little kids. She waved to us.
All right, you go.
Okay. I should have put that in, but you know I lived there.
I knew that.
Okay, 2 truths and a lie. I'm starting them all with I might have.
Because okay, so then all of them could be true.
I might have.
Pam always finding a loop.
If she says I
Okay,
might
here we
have,
go.
they're all true. If she says I might have, that's
Okay.
exactly right.
I stocked inventory at a hardware store when I was a kid. That was my first job. I got $25,000 up at a casino once and then gambled it all away. I have flown a banner up and down the Delaware coastline.
Oh, these are hard. All right, so I know that your cousin Tracy has flown a banner up and down the
Which
Delaware
indeed
coastline.
She has.
But you've never flown the plane. You've never flown a plane. I got you flying lessons, but I don't think you ever flew a banner. So when you say
You got me flying lessons?
so didn't I get you
No,
flying
I think
lessons?
you got me golf lessons.
Oh, golf lessons. You wanted flying lessons.
Right, but I can't fly because of my seizure as a kid.
Ah, so she did not fly
It was
that.
before
so
my
she did not
seizure.
fly. Oh,
Nice try.
but I don't think you flew. So when you say flew, do you mean piloted or actually were just in a plane?
Piloted.
Oh yeah, that one's got to be. That's the lie. That's got to be the lie. But let me keep thinking. So that was the third one.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was you stocked hardware.
Inventory at a hardware store
Inventory at
is
a
my
hardware
first job.
store as your first job. That's possible because you're such a geek. You would probably enjoy doing stocking inventory. What was the second one?
I might have. Oh no, I have. I've been up 25,000 at a Las Vegas casino, and then I gambled it away.
So help me God, that is so possible. That is so possible. But if you ever got up 25, if you're telling me now that you got up 25,000 and you gambled it away, you and I are gonna have to words, serious words.
Watch it unravel here, right on the She Said, She Said podcast.
This cannot be true. Like,
Is that saying that's the
can I
lie,
just tell you
or
any of the thing? If I say that is true, I will have your head.
right here live?
Right here.
I think that's
live.
illegal. I'm pretty sure
If-
that's illegal. And you
but
don't
I-
get the
but
life
I
insurance
cannot
if that
believe You
happens.
flew a plane because I don't think you've not flown a plane. All right. The lie is that you flew a plane.
Blessedly, because I treasure my head. No, the lie is that I got 25. I've never gotten $25,000
Praise
up.
Jesus, because I would take your head off.
I've never gotten up like enough to go, oh, wow, I'm up. I should walk away.
You've walked away with a few hundred.
No, I've never walked away with really anything of note. Like, it's just stupid.
You've walked away.
If I took $1,000 into gamble, I may have gotten up 100 or 110. Like, I've never been one of those. And people always walk out of the casinos going, I was up $3,000. I've never, ever. If I got up as much as I put in, at any point, I'd just put that aside and only play with,
Right.
Like
Right.
half of the winning. But no,
Yeah.
never happened.
Okay.
But I did
flew?
fly. So Tracy would let me take the controls.
But that's cheap. You did not really.
I flew it.
Tracy flew.
No, she was hands off. Again, you'll have to block the name or she'll lose her pilot's license.
No, it's what do you call it?
Instructor training.
Been enough time since the crime.
Oh, there you go. Statute of limitations.
There you go.
Yeah, and it was pre-seizure, so I was, I don't know, 16, 15 years old.
They didn't have all.
But I tell you what, yeah, no, not on this plane. But interestingly, it's a hard thing to fly those, and she was explaining to me it's really the takeoff's very dangerous, like because it like she's got to be ready for the
drag.
jolt when it comes up off the ground, and then it drags the whole time. So it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew she flew them.
That's how she got a lot of her hours.
You cheated.
Up $25,000.
You cheated.
If I were up 25,000, first of all, I never go in with more than 1,000, so that would have been a freaking miracle.
Well, that's why that didn't make sense to me.
I'd have to like go on black on the roulette table.
But seriously, Pam,
4 times.
That is why that did not make sense to me.
Gotcha.
I knew that you didn't fly.
Let's claim the winner of the game.
No.
Oh, we were both wrong, but mine was more.
A lie.
Mine was a better lie.
Oh God.
Her
truth was a lie.
My truth was a lie. There we go. Well, that's it for this week, Deb.
It was great.
That's our show.
That's the show.
Who's going to wrap it up today, Deb?
I think you're going to wrap it
No,
up,
you
Tim.
are.
So if you liked what you heard today, please like, subscribe. What is it? Like, subscribe.
We wonder why I wrap up the
This
show.
is share. Tell your friends. Thank you, friends.
Thank you so much for watching. Seriously, we're having a blast doing this show. We're going to just continue to hit on the topics that happen in everyday life when you're partners in life and business. I love you.
I love you too.
We love you. Francis Wen, thank you. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week.